Hey Impact team, my name is Ruan Marinho, and last year I had the pleasure of sponsoring the Impact Live 2024, and I plan on doing it again for the year of 2025. But the reason I'm recording this video is because I wanted to show you how much progress we've gotten on our product SplashDash since we presented it 9 months ago. We had the pleasure of talking to a lot of the attendees, running reports for them, and taking a look and seeing what they like out of the data, what they don't like, and many of them have actually made it to our waitlist. So the product is not out just yet, but I wanted to just show you a little bit about the progress that we've made in the last 9 months. So last time I was there, I spoke on stage and I really presented the product, its idea, and its vision. And then of course, I brought a team member with me so that we can run example reports for your guests. I plan on doing a similar thing this year, except this time the product has really established itself. To start, SplashDash is an ad hoc reporting platform that allows you to run reports really quickly and share it with a public link. Directly on our website, as you can see, you can look at the different kinds of reports that we can run. And if you want to take a look at the examples, you can do so directly inside of here. And so what we're doing is we're designing beautiful reports to send to internal teams or to clients without needing to have these integrations or access to any of this data. So let's go through the platform and just show you an example. To start, I like using dark mode. I personally prefer it, and I think the design looks a lot better. And what you'll see on the home page is you'll see different types of reports that you can run, and our engineering team is making updates to these reports on a weekly basis, so we're always adding new ones. And you can search, so if there's a report that you want to find, you can quickly search for an action inside of here. And of course, we can do filter, so if I want to focus in on a specific data source, I can use that data source here to find that information. So going over, let me just run an example report to show you what this would look like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this report called domain rating over time, and it's going to allow me to put in a domain to get an estimated breakdown of traffic based on domain rating and domain rating over time. So I'm going to put an input, and then I'm going to click submit. Once I click submit, SplashDash is going to talk to the integrations that we utilize to create this report, and then it's going to come back with a beautiful visual front end for me to analyze. Once the report is done loading, you can expect to see a screen that looks like this. Remember, every report looks different, so not every single one of them will look the same. On the right side, it'll show you what integrations we gathered the data from, and then you'll see a variety of different metrics based on the report you pull. In this case, you're going to see data about the domain, what the anticipated traffic is for that domain based on our AI models, and then beautiful line charts so you can see that information visualized, easeability of toggling information so that you can really dial in on the specific thing you're looking for, and then also you can see that we visualize the data in as many ways as possible using different graphs. In this case, it's a pie chart. And as we scroll, we're also looking at things like estimated monthly conversions for that domain, allowing you to hover over this information to quickly look at this data with tooltips to explain all of it. Probably the key selling proposition of SplashDash is at the bottom, you can actually turn on this report and share it with your internal team or your end client, and they don't have to have any of the integrations nor log in to view the data. It's a public link that you can share. If you don't want them having that anymore, you can simply turn off the public link. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create another report to show you an example of what the tool can do. So in this case, I'm going to run a different report, except I'm going to run something called competitive overview. Competitive overview is going to allow me to put in a business name, put in a location, and put in a category. And then SplashDash is going to talk to multiple integrations at once to show me exactly how I compare to the market and what I need to do to beat the competitors in the market. Okay, so now that the report is done loading, you'll see that the client that I put in, CT Moving and Storage, compared to their local market, on average, is above the market in all categories. Organic traffic, domain authority, reviews, keywords, domain age. And on the top right here, I can change who I'm comparing CT Moving and Storage to by removing people from my selection. As I remove people from my selection, you'll see that the metrics change depending on who we're comparing ourselves to. Oftentimes, clients like comparing themselves to just one brand, or they may want to compare themselves with the entire market. In this case, I'm going to compare myself with the entire market. Scrolling down, I can look at a table and see all of the key data points that we utilize when we communicate with clients about their business. Things like their total traffic, their domain authority, their reviews, their keywords, their domain age. And my goal with this video is to really show you the flexibility of the SplashDash platform. So I can click on domain authority, I can click on reviews, and I can filter this information however I see fit. And I can look at all of this information from one quick glance. Scrolling down, I can look at the traffic trends like I showed you before with the line charts, allowing you to visualize this information really smoothly and allow you to see exactly how much traffic each of the competitors are getting and what that means compared to my business or brand. I can filter this information by 6 to 1 months, or I can go ahead and just turn off other options so that you can only see a few options if I only want to compare myself to a few of the brands out there. Scrolling down, you can see a little scorecard about what it's going to take for me to be number one in that area based on what SplashDash found in that marketplace. And that's really one of the values of SplashDash, is it's specifically focused on local service-based businesses. It is not focused on larger sites. So while we use data from big tools like Ahrefs and Moz, we're really not going after the type of capabilities that they have. We're most sort of carving out a specific way to do local. So let me show you another example of actions. So we went through 2 of them, domain rating over time and competitive overview. What I'm now going to do is I'm now going to show you the ad budget simulator. And so this is a really cool action because it takes your input, your conversion rates, etc., and based on your local area, because we have a partnership with the US Census Bureau, recommends an advertising spend for your client or for your prospect. So I'm going to fill this information in, I'm going to run this report, and I'm going to show you the flexibility and the power of SplashDash when it comes to local. So I went ahead and ran the report. And as you can see, I put in the average revenue per customer is $2,000. The cost per mile, meaning the cost to reach 1,000 people, is $38. 5% conversion rate, 33% close rate. Scrolling down, I can see at a city by city level of my local area how many people there are, how many total ad units there are, and what the recommended monthly spend is if I want to capitalize on all of these areas. So I can tell my client confidently they should be spending $7,195.65. As I keep going, SplashDash is going to visualize how many potential customers they're going to get through this advertising campaign by using some key metrics. Things like the budget that it's set, the cost per click for that specific category, how many clicks they're going to get, an average website conversion rate of 5% based on your industry, and the close rate at 33%, they can expect 25 customers on a monthly basis. When we simulate this information, we can actually see that there could be a potential return on investment of $42,000, $804.35. It also shows you the keywords, and it allows you to filter the demographics so you can adjust your advertising. So if I wanted to exclude a whole city, let's say Wolcott and let's say Southington, you can see that my projections now change. Also, my budget changes because I'm not targeting those towns. Going down on the report, I can see key demographic information about each area. So if I wanted to drill down and see what ethnic race is popular in a certain area, I can do so. I can also see the different generations and which generations around this area are most popular, or I can see the generations town by town so I can cater my messaging a lot clearer. And of course, towards the bottom, I can go ahead and share this report, and that's going to allow the customer or our team to see what the ad budget simulation actually is for this report. So again, just a really cool way to visualize information and to share with clients. But before I leave off, I want to show you one more example, and this will really give you the gist of how flexible SplashDash's platform can be. The last report I'm going to show you is called Digital Presence. This is going to give me an overview of a business entirely, including its key details, its growth rate, its search volume, and etc. So I'm going to put in an example here, and then I'll show you how this report is completely different to what I've showed you. So as you can see, as I ran the Digital Presence report, I quickly get some critical information about these different businesses. In this case, I get the Google business information, quick site metrics, quick domain info, and their Google business profile. On the top right, it's called several different tools, so I'm really going to get comprehensive information throughout this data. Scrolling down, I can take a look and see customer sentiment for Dario and Meriden. I could see their star rating breakdown. I could see their word frequency table of what the common terms are mentioned. If I want to see neutral and if I want to see negative, I can do so. And this will allow me to get a good understanding of how customers interact with their business or brand. And if I wanted to filter in the relevant reviews of different keywords, I can to see where that was mentioned in a review. I could see an organic traffic overview of their domain. And as you can see, it's going down. A lot of organic search engines are not driving traffic to websites. So a lot of our sites are going to reflect this. Scrolling down, I can see the top website pages for this domain. And I can click these pages to see exactly what they look like. Also seeing exactly how many monthly visitors those pages are getting, what the keyword volume is, and then of course, how much traffic is driving that page. Then I can see a backlink overview, who's mentioning these websites, if that website has a high domain authority, if the status is lost. I can filter by only looking at lost or broken backlinks, and I can see quick stats on the top of their backlink portfolio. SplashDash is only pulling 100 backlinks at this time, and we're filtering it based on unique backlinks. However, in the future, we may expand that. And then, of course, you can see the keywords that are driving traffic. So you can see all of the different terms that are driving traffic to this domain. And with a click of a button, I can remove all the branded keywords so I can really see the money phrases that are driving traffic to this domain. And as always, I can share this report, or I can go ahead and just download it as a PDF or do whatever I want with it. On the left-hand side, you'll see reports, and this will allow you to go through all of the reports that you've ever run, allowing you to do simple filtering so that you can find reports very easily that you've run in the past. That's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick rundown of SplashDash and where we are in our progress. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you guys at Impact Live.